What's up, Chris Godwin? Welcome to the Boardroom, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. I appreciate you having me.
For sure. You had an awesome 2019 season, a breakout season, Pro Bowl season,
Yeah,
second team All Pro, third year, and you did that.
yeah.
Um, but more importantly, what I want to know right now is how are you making the most of your isolation and quarantine time? You can't say anything football related. What have
Yes.
you invested in?
Um. Wow. Honestly, I've recently gotten into like photography a lot. And that's something that I've been kind of passionate about. And now that I got a lot more free time, I took a trip to South Africa and we were able to take like a bunch of like really dope pictures. So now I'm just like editing those. And aside from that, it's a lot of like binge watching TV. We just started watching Tiger King, and that's unreal. So that's pretty dope.
Somebody told me to check out Tiger King, and I haven't yet. Like, I'll
Yeah.
check. Like, why do you like it?
Um, it's very interesting. It's something that's like completely different. There's three, like I guess there's three different like big cat rescues just in the states, and they're kind of like just like button heads.
Mhm.
Honestly, a lot of it kind of seems like an SNL skit, like it could be fake, but you know what I mean. But I guess it's real. I guess it's real.
But it might be real. Okay, so
Yeah.
just real quick on the binge watching, because I mean, I feel like that's what all of Americans and worldwide were doing. Do you allow yourself the decency of maybe one or two episodes a day, or do you
Mhm.
just watch as many as you can?
Honestly, it just depends on the show. Like there are some shows that like we really like, so like we'll try to like space it out and like watch like one or two a day, so that it kind of like strings out as long as it can. But then there are some shows where we're just like, all right, like it is what it is, and we just kind of watch it all like in one sitting if we have the time.
Right. Well, I know one thing everybody's excited to watch is
Mhm.
hopefully this upcoming NFL season. And I know the
Yeah,
Tampa Bay Buccaneers got a lot to be excited about. I mean,
for sure.
you know, Tom Brady's coming through.
Yeah.
And actually, I just want to pick up immediately on a conversation that I've heard you have a lot,
Hmm.
the number 12,
Yep.
which you've already said you're going to give up to Tom Brady out of respect.
Yeah.
My question for you is, has any numbers, because numbers have a lot of meanings to athletes, have
Mhm.
there been any numbers that have been significant for you perhaps to try and pick up?
Honestly, I wish there was. Like, I wish I had like a second and third go to, to kind of fall back on. But really, the only number that's ever had like any significance to me has always just been 12. So whatever number I would go to would just be something completely different. So, but it's cool though. It is what it is.
What did the number 12 mean to you?
Honestly, like when I first got it, it was just like just a number that I thought was just like the dopest number. And then as I started, like I had it in high school and college and in a pro. So as I started to, do more and perform better in it, it just kind of stuck with me and just like take me back to like all those great memories like that I've had and like it's kind of like how I kind of like identify, like people call me 12 or CG12 or what like any, combination of all of those things. But it's been dope.
So it's absolutely a significant gesture that, you're willing to give this up to, Tom Brady, a legend, a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
One way maybe you could think about this too, and I know a lot of athletes do, is like when they shift to another number in their career, it's kind of like a new phase of their career.
Yeah.
Like what could new phase, this new number signify in your career if you could have it your way?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like that idea, just kind of like turn like a new page and a new chapter, you know what I mean, and just like a 2.0 version of myself.
I mean, the 2.0 version of Mr. Pro Bowl All Pro second
Yeah,
team last year is about to be real crazy.
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
And so, Tom, I heard he wanted everybody's phone number, and you said how many times have you spoken to him since the news?
I've talked to him twice already. Like we've texted and then we were able to get on the FaceTime just briefly, so we can start putting kind of like, just faces, to put a face to a name, kind of like start the relationship and just make sure that we're starting off the right way so that when we really hit the ground, go like rolling, like we're moving, that we're all like in unison.
How do you make up for chemistry so quick? So like I'm really interested in like, you know, what did Tom ask you? What did he want to know about Chris?
Yeah,
Like, what did you want him to know about you?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, really, it's literally just just getting to know like each other. Like just early like introductory things. And just trying to like get a feel for who we are, like as people, like more than anything else. Like we didn't talk ball or anything. Really, just about like how excited we both are like to kind of play with each other, play on the same team, together. And just for me, it's just like I'm just trying to learn, learn as much as I can from somebody that's arguably the GOAT, and I'm just ready to roll. And obviously, all this stuff that's going on is kind of prohibiting a lot of this aspect, but I'm sure we'll make up for it down the road.
how are young guys like you who are successful, but still up and coming, gonna walk that line between possibly geeking out on the inside with the GOAT versus like understanding this is your colleague?
Yeah, yeah. At first, it was a little weird because it's like obviously like somebody I've watched literally my entire life, but now it's like like it, like you said, he's my colleague now. So what like past the initial like interaction, it's like all right, cool. Like this is starting to become a little bit more normal now.
Mm-hmm. Does it feel normal yet?
Yeah, I think it's starting to feel normal. I think I've talked about it so much at this point that yeah, it's pretty normal. It's kind of settled in for me.
All right, now you talk about like you want to learn from him. It might feel weird that maybe you could share some of your insight with Tom. Like, what
Yeah.
would you tell Tom? Or how would you describe what it's like to play in the NFC South versus the AFC East? If
Yeah.
he knows, but what would you
Yeah,
say
I
to
mean,
him?
obviously, like, it's a very competitive division. We have a team in the Saints that's been really, really, dominant these last couple of years, and we got three other teams that are right on their tail, and so we're looking to be the top dog now, and I'm sure he has like the lay of the land, but the only thing I'm sure he probably isn't used to is playing in the heat down here, so he's gonna have to adjust fast.
Facts, but that might be a nice adjustment. Like,
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
for sure, especially as you get older, you kind of want to stay out of the cold weather.
That's actually a great point too. Like
Yeah.
when the weather changes, you start to feel it in your bones and your back and your knees.
Yeah, exactly. I'm 100% with you. I think that, like I said, as you get older, I feel like you gravitate more to like warmer climates.
So is Tampa Bay like Tom Brady going south to his retirement home?
I hope he's here, for years to come, and I hope that we can win a ton of games and a ton of championships.
Absolutely. Do you feel any pressure in that with Tom Brady coming, it's almost there is a sense of a win now attitude?
hmm I'm sure there's going to be some pressure like at some point. But for me, like I said, it's trying to like trying to learn. All these expectations and stuff. It's going to come with the territory, but if you pay attention to the outside, all of the outside noise, and you're going to miss what's really there, like right in front of you. And like, no matter what, we still got to put in the work. So like, we still got to do that.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. In the work, and you're gonna have to block out the noise. There's gonna be so
Oh
much
yeah.
noise in the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm working on it already, trying to prep
How you work on blocking out
myself.
the noise?
Man, you can't be reading Instagram comments. You can't be reading everything that people are saying about you. Like it's already going on. So I guess when the season really kicks off, it'll be more.
Absolutely. And one person that, you certainly, there's a lot of noise that was surrounding him throughout his career and tenure with the Bucs, and we'll see what happens for him next, is with Jameis Winston. And I know you've really, like, you're an awesome teammate, and you really stepped up to say, like, I still believe he's a starter.
Yeah.
What is the biggest misconception around Jameis?
That's a very, very good question. I'm not sure what the biggest misconception is, but I do know that he's definitely misunderstood. I think he's one of the hardest working people like that I've been around. I know every like that James is gonna be in the building. He's gonna be the first one in the building every day, and he's gonna work his tail off. He's gonna study, and then in the huddle, no matter what the previous play, no matter if it was good or bad, he's gonna be the same dude. And I got a lot of respect for that. He'll always have a lot of respect and from me.
Would you say that his potential and all of the amazing stats that he's been able to put up is worth it? That with all the turnovers that comes with it too, is it worth it?
I think so because like there's some things that he does that you just can't teach. He has some elite abilities that you can't teach, and obviously like the turnover, like nobody wants turnovers, but you know there's going to be some kind of trade off. The best thing that you can do is try to minimize those turnovers.
I've heard you step up and say, like, yeah, some of those turnovers weren't all on Jameis. Like, what are the turnovers you feel like, all right, here's an area he can improve, and what are the turnovers you're like, here's where we can improve as
Yeah,
a wide receiver unit.
yeah, for sure. I mean, like there have been times where maybe he held onto the ball too long, and what I mean. There would be like a strip sack, or there was or like a bad read on his part, and he threw it to the wrong guy, or what I mean. But on the other side, like there have been like a bunch of times, or not, there have been times where receivers have either ran the wrong route, like I've been guilty of either like running the wrong route or just being in a different spot than he thought I was going to be, and then
Hmm.
you get an interception, you get a turnover, and so it's
Yeah.
like, it's not just him, it's the collective, and I think people that like are really entrenched in football like understand that the quarterback gets a lot more to blame than they deserve. Sometimes they get a lot more of the credit than they deserve too, but like that's just the nature of the position.
Well, then for Jameis, did
Mhm.
he get more of the blame or more of the credit that he deserved? Like, where do you think he balanced what was fair for how he
Mhm.
should have been regarded with Tampa Bay?
I definitely think he got more of the blame than he deserved. Like I said, I think he's a really, really talented quarterback. Obviously, like there's some things that he does that, like I said, you can't teach. And there's some plays like that he made that they just weren't smart plays. But the a lot of the interceptions and the mistakes that he made, I would say like at least half of them were because of a bad read on somebody else's part. You know what I mean? And the great thing about him is he's not going to go up there. He's not going to throw anybody under the bus. He's gonna own up to it. He's gonna take it, and he's gonna be a leader. And like I said, like there's respect to that.
That's what's up. I can definitely see the mutual respect going
Yeah.
both ways. So just shifting gears, this is the boardroom. So we
Hmm.
take kind of like a business kind of look
Yeah.
at the sports world. And, I know that you just finished your third year, you're still kind of young, up and coming, but certainly now finding amazing success. If I can get the exact stats, 86 receptions last year for 1,333 yards, 9 touchdowns in 14 games, all starts,
Yeah.
pro all, second team all pro. So, and now you got Tom Brady too. So the
Yeah.
future's looking
The future is looking very bright. The biggest thing for me is like each year I'm trying to just take another step up. So like I was very pleased with how I played last year overall. But for me, like when I look back on, I'm like, man, there's a bunch of stuff that I can do to improve on those. And
like
like
what?
if I
Like what?
so for me, like I said, like there have been a handful of plays that like I just mess up on like mental errors that will end up in like a turnover. Whereas like if I eliminate like a mental error or two like in each game, that's like that could be another 16 to 20 catches and a couple hundred yards and a couple touchdowns. You know what I mean? And then like so oh wow, he went from 1,300 yards to 1,700 yards. And 15 touchdowns, and now that looks even crazier. So I'm just trying to like keep going up, and I'm working to try to be the best. And I feel like if people aren't doing that, I think that like they're approaching things the wrong way. Try to be the best version of myself.
I love that mindset, and certainly on the field, that's possible.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you, have you considered that with Tom Brady coming,
Hmm.
this and the GOAT,
Yeah.
and also with your improvement and the level that you're playing at, and the spotlight that's going to come with this season,
Hmm.
have you at all given thought to the opportunity to grow yourself as a brand?
Yeah, I've definitely thought about that. That's something that I've been very interested in, but it has to be done the right way. I think the biggest thing for me is staying true to who I am, staying authentic, and just allowing people to kind of just to get to know who Chris Godwin is. And I think like once they start to kind of figure that out, I think most people will like it.
Who is Chris Godwin?
That is that is a great question. Honestly, just kind of like in a nutshell, I'm very, relaxed, kind of like laid back. I'm not like the loudest guy in the room or anything. I kind of pick and choose my spots on when I speak, and when I do it simply because like I mean it. I don't do much like outside of football. Like I said, I take pictures. I'm into photography, and like arts and stuff like that. I play video games. I kick it with my girlfriend and my friends, and I'm pretty much down for like anything game wise. Like I'm big into competition. So, I'm always like looking to have a good time and, just trying to be with the people like that I love.
What are the games you like, and which are you best at?
Oh, so I play video games and then we also play board games and stuff like that. Video game wise, I play like Call of Duty a lot right now. I'm pretty good at that. And then like board games, I'm down for like whatever, like card games, board games, like Taboo, like Spades. I'm here for it all.
Oh, okay, okay. So
Yeah.
no isolation quarantine time with the fiance.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you so
Maybe
much.
y'all could be competing against each other.
Oh yeah, we always do. She typically loses, but I gotta let her win sometimes.
I want to dive into the
Yeah.
photography. You've mentioned it on this call, on Instagram. Your latest post about a couple days ago,
Yeah.
actually, you got the chance to travel and learn a new skill in photography. So tell me about your travels to South Africa
Yes. We went to
and why you picked up a camera.
Yeah. So we went to South Africa. We went to Cape Town and a few of the surrounding cities. And it was unreal. It was unlike anything that we've ever experienced. The landscape there was so unique. They have beaches and mountains and cities and everything in between. And so for me, like I said, I've always been interested in photography, like since I was a kid. And then I never really had the means to go out and get the equipment. So once I got the means and now I have the equipment, I'm like, all right, now I have to do it. And that's a
What's the
completely different
camera
ball
you're
game
using?
because it's so technical and there's so many things you have to learn. But that was the exciting thing for me. That was my opportunity to learn something that I'm not good at and to try to master that craft. And I'm far from mastering it, but when we were in South Africa, I took a really big step in actually taking some pictures that I'm actually proud of. Now that I have the means and we're there like in such a beautiful place that it allowed me to really be able to go out and work on that craft and really just try to challenge me to work to something that I'm not really that good at. I'm still not great, but I took a really big step in actually trying to get some of the pictures like how I see them in my head and actually onto the prints.
What are the, what are the types of shots and feelings you like to capture with your photography?
For me, I kind of like a little bit more like moody photography. I try to like when I edit my photos, they're a little bit more muted. And then I like kind of like street photography, like try to capture people like in their natural environment, just like on their day to day. Aside from that, there's like landscape stuff too. Just try to capture whatever beauty there is out in this world. I want to capture for what it is.
That's profound. So how is football and photography different for you?
They're very different just in the approach, but um, for me, like they're both like pretty cathartic. I try to just like just put myself solely like in those things like individually and kind of just go for it. Try to learn as much as I can and just try to make it my own. Like I try to like craft my game into something that's unique to me. And then in photography, I try to do things that how I want to see them. I think like that's the beauty of art. You kind of make it into like whatever you want it to be.
When I asked before you were breaking up, for all of the photography heads out there, what is the type of camera you're using?
Yeah. So right now I'm using a Leica CL. And then I also have a Canon 6D Mark II. So like they're two different types of cameras, but they really like supply me with what I need to accomplish like my goals. I couldn't be happier.
If there's one photograph that you could capture at the end of this upcoming season with Tom Brady as your new quarterback, what
Mhm.
would it be?
Um,
Your way of capturing it.
you, s-
Describe it.
you said my way of capturing it. So I've always been interested in trying to like and seeing like the Northern Lights. I think that would be like a really really dope picture to go there, go wherever I can see it and capture that kind of like in its like natural state. And I think that would be really really dope.
Right. That's beautiful. But I guess I was saying with your teammates.
Oh, with my teammates?
Like a football photo. Let's say you had to capture one
Oh yeah,
football-oriented,
yeah.
and you were the photographer of that moment. How would you capture it, and what would it be?
Um, it would be a game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. I like right from the end zone. That. Those are the things I'm interested in football. I'm trying to win, and I want to, I'm trying to cultivate like a winning culture, and just try to work towards the same goals that everybody else on the team has.
Yes. I'm like thinking all deep. I'm like, maybe it's the moment after you make the catch and it's a picture of you capturing eye contact with your fiance
With
in the stand. Ooh.
That's great. That is great.
Last business question. Who's someone that you might look to? You talk about, I want to build my brand the right way. Who
Mhm.
is someone who's already established themselves, playing or retired, that
Mhm.
built their business and brand that you could try to emulate or look up to?
Honestly, like two people I kind of look to are like LeBron James and Kevin Durant. I think the way that both of those guys kind of handle like their business, like the business end of it, I think has been great. Like they're invested in some really good things. They have their hands kind of in a bunch of different pots. And it seems like they have like a really good group of advisors around them. And because of that, their brands are constantly elevating. They're known worldwide, and like obviously like them being great basketball players helps, but I think they're really good ambassadors for the game and just for like how athletes should kind of like move.
Have you tried to reach out to
No,
either of
I
them?
have I have not yet. I'm sure there'll be a time, when I do that. But like I said, I try to stay low key until it's the right time for things.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
this is the boardroom. Hopefully KD's watching.
Yeah, for sure.
You might be right. He might hit you up. But all right, to end this, I just wanted to think about players
Mhm.
that you might be looking up to, and also players that you relate to. So you had this breakout year last season for wide receivers.
Mhm.
Who are some that you just admire and look to currently playing? Like actually, better yet, can I get Chris Godwin's top 5 favorite wide receivers in the league right now?
And then leave right now.
Yeah.
Um, Gotta go with my dog Mike Evans. Um, I've always been a big fan of Larry Fitzgerald and just the way that he's maneuvered. Um, And then I would say I like Devontae Adams. I love what he brings to the game. I like Keenan Allen, and uh, and then Michael Thomas and Julio Jones are like 5A and 5B for me.
Okay. Respect.
Yeah,
Now
yeah, yeah.
here's the hard question. Here's the hard question. Give me your top 5 cornerbacks that you've ever gone up against in the NFL.
That is definitely a tough question. So I got a lot of respect for Patrick Peterson. So Patrick Peterson, Richard Sherman, Darius Slay. Um, it's a great question. Let's say that's a good question. I think I might leave it at three for now.
We're gonna do a top
Leave it
3.
at three. Yeah. I
Those
think
are the 3 that were tough, and you got respect for everybody else. Got to step it up.
nah, nah, I don't want to get to it. I got respect for a lot of dudes, but in terms of like, going up against guys, I thought those were fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's clean that up. Those were my words, not his. All right, and the last one is only because you had this. It's hard. It's an evasive breakout year. Everybody's
Mhm.
young guys are looking for that moment. Who's some offensive players that you respect, but maybe they're still up and coming. Maybe their breakout year you think could be just this season. Like you can
Mhm.
name more than one or just one. Who's someone you can see that in?
Um, so one guy that I think people started seeing him come on towards the end of the year was Miles Sanders. I may be a bit biased, Penn State guy, but I think he's gonna be a really good player in the Eagles offense. I really like AJ Brown and Debo Samuels. I think that like those are two like really good young receivers that I think, and they both had really good years last year, but I think they're gonna take it up a notch this year. Yeah, and then I mean, aside from that, it'd be like guys like on my team, but like I'm biased about that.
Well, I appreciate your time, your insight, your willingness to open up about not only Tom but your photography. Like
Hmm.
you have a lot to offer,
Yeah,
and it was good to get to know you here.
yeah, I really do appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much. Good luck this season, and stay safe, stay healthy, wash those hands.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, I appreciate it. You too.